At the height of dinner rush, the restaurant hums with laughter, clinking glasses, warmth. Servers weave between tables, carrying plates heavy with comfort. Then a man in worn clothes slips inside and lowers himself into an empty booth, just to sit, just to breathe. Conversations pause. A manager stiffens. Whispers ripple. He smells of the street, of nights without shelter, and that is enough. Voices rise quickly, sharp and public. He's told he doesn't belong, that customers are uncomfortable, that rules are rules. He doesn't argue. He doesn't explain. He stands when they grab his arm, eyes lowered, hands open. Phones come out, stares burn. Someone laughs nervously. Someone else looks away. The room stays warm as he's pushed toward the door. Outside waits the cold, loud and unforgiving. The door closes behind him, sealing comfort inside. On the sidewalk, he pauses. His breath fogs the air. In his pocket, his fingers tighten around something solid, familiar.
He looks back once, calm in a way that doesn't fit the moment. This isn't over. It's just beginning. And as footsteps fade behind him, the silence feels deliberate, like a held breath before consequences finally arrive for everyone watching, including him today. Before the street, his life followed structure. Mornings started early, shoes polished, paperwork neat. He believed in order, in showing up prepared, in earning respect quietly. People once trusted him, sought his help, listened when he spoke. Then came the injury, not dramatic, just enough to slow him down. Time off became paperwork, paperwork became delays, delays became denials. Systems moved faster than compassion. Savings strained while answers stalled. Stability slipped without warning. He adapted at first, followed every rule, filled every form. When work disappeared, he downsized. When housing fell through, he waited. Eventually, there was nowhere left to wait indoors. Even on the street, he kept habits intact.
Records folded carefully, shoes cleaned when possible. He avoided conflict, avoided crowds. Dignity mattered, even when no one rewarded it. He learned to stay silent, because silence kept him safe. Back at the restaurant, that silence had been mistaken for weakness. But standing outside now, replaying the moment, something settles inside him. Not anger, resolve. Being removed was one thing. Being treated as less crossed a line. He reaches into his pocket again, already knowing what comes next. The waiting is over. They laughed after he was gone. Plates cleared, jokes followed. Someone said the place felt cleaner now. Another mimicked his silence. No manager corrected them. No consequence arrived. Comfort returned quickly. Outside, he walked. Not aimless, measured. Each step even, shoulders set. He watched reflections in windows, noted cameras, listened to how voices shifted when he passed. People either ignored him or stiffened. He adjusted nothing. Discipline stayed intact.
The city moved around him, loud and careless. He moved through it quietly, counting time. Night settled in layers. Neon replaced daylight. Somewhere behind him, the restaurant stacked chairs, wiped tables, locked doors, certain the incident had ended. He kept walking until he vanished into the dark, swallowed by streets that rarely remember faces. Viewers are left with the same question the staff never asked. Who was he really? Morning comes fast. Lights flip on. Coffee brews. The restaurant opens its doors again, rehearsing another ordinary day. None of them notice the man approaching from across the street, posture straighter, purpose sharper. They assume yesterday is over. They are wrong. By the time they look up, authority is already crossing the threshold, unseen until it demands attention from everyone inside watching. He enters the same way as before, through the front door, but nothing else is the same.
The room is louder now, confident in its normalcy, until a glint of metal catches the light. A badge, polished, official. Conversations slow, then stop. He's clean now, uniform pressed, posture unmistakable. Recognition spreads unevenly. First confusion, then disbelief. Someone whispers his face, remembering too late. Yesterday's silence suddenly has weight. The truth surfaces without drama. He explains calmly that he was undercover, displaced temporarily while an internal review stalled housing access. The street was real. The cold was real. So was his authority. He doesn't accuse. He asks questions. Names, times, policies. He writes everything down. Arrogance drains from the room. The manager who raised his voice yesterday can't meet his eyes today. Staff shrink back, realizing how quickly power can reverse. No shouting is needed. Justice doesn't rush. Documents are handed over. Phones come out again, but this time with different intentions.
Official consequences begin quietly, efficiently. As he finishes his notes, he looks around once more, not angry, just certain. The confrontation is over. What follows next will be permanent and far beyond this room. Consequences don't arrive with sirens. They arrive on paper. Citations issued, policies reviewed, training mandated. Quiet accountability replaces yesterday's laughter, and the restaurant learns that respect is not optional. He steps back into the street without spectacle. The badge rests against his chest, but it doesn't feel heavier than yesterday. What changed wasn't him. It was how people listened once authority was visible. He thinks about how easily dignity was denied when he looked powerless, how quickly it returned when status appeared. The contrast stays with him longer than the incident itself. This wasn't revenge. It was correction. A reminder that humanity should never require proof. Somewhere inside, the staff return to work with new rules and older thoughts.
Outside, the city keeps moving, unaware of the lesson just learned. If this story unsettles you, it should, because moments like this happen quietly, every day, in places just as ordinary. Maybe that's the point. We rarely know who someone is becoming, or what they carry unseen. So the next time power seems absent, choose respect anyway. Stories like this don't end at the door. They continue in how we treat the next person we almost ignore. It matters more, always.